Sorry about that, YouTubers. My camera is set for 10 minutes. It has an auto cut off after 10 minutes for YouTube, so just continue on the part 2 of my packages and pickups from May of this year. So, like I was saying in the previous part, I had to buy Elite for the Acorn Electron a second time, and this time I paid about I think it was $34.99 or something like that for it. Yeah, again, yeah, I think very rare. Yeah, it's debatable whether it's rare or not. I don't. Probably sitting in loads of people's lofts somewhere, you know, gathering dust. But $34.99, and yes, it's a hell of a lot of money. Probably what you would have paid for it back in the day when it was new. But I mean, don't tell the missus I paid 35 quid for it, because she will go. So anyway, like, you know, I got this, received it, and everything's there. You know, everything's there. You got the Elite Club. You got the installation. You know how to load it. You've got the keyboard shortcuts. Obviously the Dark Wheel, the story of Elite, and of course the trailer's flight trading manual. Everything's there, and of course the cassette is there. I haven't tested them yet. Obviously there could be could be music tapes on them tapes for all I know, but suffice to say, when this arrived and it was well packaged, I was extremely pleased, because I have quite a fondness for that game. My next purchase was again for the Acorn Electron, and it's a game called, I don't know if any of you remember this, it's called Twin Kingdom Valley, and it was a graphics adventure game. Now, like I said, my friend, who's my best friend, I've known him for some 30 years this year. He now lives on the Isle of Wight, but he had the Acorn Electron and I had the ZX Spectrum Plus, and you know, obviously we go around to each other's houses, he'd play on my system, I'd play on his system when I ran it, and played these games. And you know, at the time, you know, seeing the graphics on this game, you know, when he drew up the graphics before every screen when you progress in the adventure, it was just amazing, you know. And it was a really good adventure program. I just like adventure games, still do actually. Obviously progressed to the newer type like Monkey Island, you know, the graphic point and click ones, and whatever's evolved today. But nostalgic again, being nostalgic again, I had to have that. So it's Byte, and it's called Twin Kingdom Valley. So I got that bargain, £1.50 for that. So I was quite pleased, really pleased. Like I said in my introduction, all things retro, I've also purchased some vinyl, and here's a real classic one by Mankind. That's Doctor Who. It's like basically it's a disco version of the Doctor Who theme. For those of you who don't know who Doctor Who is, it's a cult sci-fi, time-travelling sci-fi UK series by the BBC, and you know, lots of nostalgic memories of that, because you know, bring back memories of childhood, you know, good times and that. And my older brother got me into that tune, and obviously my love of sci-fi. And I also bought a 12-inch of it as well, which is mental. And what really did it for me, I'm a sucker for it's a green vinyl. Can you believe that? It's Mankind, Doctor Who again, on 12-inch, and it's got a green vinyl. Can you see that in the light? I don't know how good that picture is. And on the B-side you got it's called a track called Time Traveller, and that's on both the 7 and 12. Get that in there, that'd be nice. So I think this vinyl is so delicate, you know. Right, the next purchase was another 12-inch, and it was again a real 70s Cerrone or Cerrone, Supernature. Another sort of a disco-y type track, and I believe it was featured on the Kenny Everett show when it was in IT. I'm sure. I mean, if I'm wrong, YouTubers, please feel free to correct me, comments, and there. I know it was one. It was a theme tune or one series, or appeared in an old series. There. My next purchase was the Blake 7 theme tune on 7-inch vinyl. I paid £1.04 for this, which I was over the moon for, because I missed out on a couple and they went for silly, bit pricey. The B-side, you've got the Federation March, and I've got my Ion USB turntable here, so I used that, put it into Audacity, which is as many of you know, is a free audio program, and I sampled the parts of that track for my introduction, my intro for my channel. So when you hear that Blake 7 theme and it's cut, that's from that vinyl, and that's just cut, but it's just a simple cut in Audacity, really. Another classic, I'm a big David Bowie fan. I loved all his stuff since Ziggy Stardust to his modern stuff even. And one of the feeling very nostalgic. One of the tracks that I really wanted. To be honest, I think I've got it upstairs in the loft, but my loft at the moment is in a real state. I need to sort it out. I need to reorganise up there, and I couldn't be bothered having to hunt through and find it. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy it again on eBay. So I got it for 99p. It's one of David Bowie's very early songs. It's 1967. It's got here, The Laughing Gnome. I don't know if any of you remember that. And on the B side, it's The Gospel According to Tony Day. And I've played it. It's really good. You know, the quality's pretty good considering how old that piece of vinyl is. And I'm pretty pleased, it's suffice to say. My next purchase was for my beloved. I'm a bit of an Amiga nut. I love my Commodore Amiga, and I got an Amiga 1200 with a hard drive. And my next purchase, which cost me £50 odd. It was an impulse buy. You know when you just see something and you just think, I've got to have it. I was looking for Midi stuff for the Amiga, and up popped this keyboard, and you know I just sort of looked at it, and it's got 5 octaves. It is a massive keyboard. It's from Eidersoft. I don't know if you can read that at all there. It's Eidersoft. It's an MM5000 from Eidersoft, and it's supposed to be it's a professional. I haven't got it to work yet. For love nor money, I'm a member of the English Amiga board, and I've been trying on there, and other people have got this same keyboard having the same problem. We cannot get it to work. It plugs into the spare Amiga joystick port for extra power, and bizarrely it plugs into the parallel ports of the Amiga, which normally many of you may know that most MIDI interfaces for the Amiga would plug into the serial port. I mean, it does however come with this. It's like a MIDI interface because it's supposed to be compatible with the Atari ST as well. So one would assume that you just connect those two together like that, and then you've got your free MIDI. If you look at the actual interface here, I'll put it close to the screen so you can read that. You got your MIDI out, through, and in. Haven't been able to get it to work. Have not been able to get it to work. I've tried, you know, a few fellow members on the forum have sent me drives and PD, public domain MIDI drivers, and I've even bought, which I'll show in another video. I've even bought MIDI cables. Because I bought a MIDI master, Daytel MIDI master for the Amiga as well. So I paid £50 odd for this, £25 for that. So obviously I've invested £75 for a keyboard I can't play. Madness. But yeah, I'll show that in my next video because that's a big part of my June pickups. I actually bought this on the 30th of May, and that was bought in June. So my next video will show that, and then at some point I'm going to put a video on begging someone to help get this. I would love to be able to play this on the Amiga, and the reason being because I'm very nostalgic about my Amiga. So if I could play some music on it with the actual hardware, I mean, I could, people say, oh, you could put it on there, go to get Amiga Forever or Win UAE. It's just not the same. It's just not the same as playing it on the actual hardware with the actual sound chips. And I think the Amiga for its time produced some pretty amazing sounds and some nice. In fact, Steve Benway was quite impressed. He's got Octamed Sound Studio, which I've got as well, and he produced some track on it which he showcased on his channel. I'm really impressed, Steve. Actually, it's quite good, and I'm into music as well. I like to. I mean, I can't read music, but I just want to muck about and just create a little tune, just for a bit of fun, really. So I hope you've enjoyed my pickups. I'm going to do another one for this month for June, before June runs out, and hopefully that won't be too long. Take care. I hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time.